Meet Caesar. He's a shiny Infernape from Legends Arceus that's not allowed to see the beautiful land of Paldea?
Well, this is bullshit.
Why? Who cares, because I got him in the game. When Pokemon Scarlet and Violet were first released, there were over 100 Pokemon in the game's code that we weren't allowed access to. Unless you got your hands on a randomizer, you had to wait until Pokemon Home came out. And even then, Pokemon Home didn't come out until fairly recently, so you weren't allowed to have Hisuian Pokemon until like maybe a month ago. Zork, we're not going to count you. You're a special exception. Go home. But even with the addition of Pokemon Home, there were a lot of Pokemon that actually still aren't even in the game. And I wasn't even really aware of this until I tried to bring Caesar to Paldea. And it got me thinking, how many Pokemon from Legends Arceus didn't make it to Scarlet and Violet? Over 100. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I made a Google spreadsheet and everything. I checked the math. All the Sinnoh starters, Yanma, Togekiss, Regigigas. So many cool Pokemon limited to living out their lives in the Hisui region, never getting to know another game, and seemingly forgotten about by the Pokemon Company. Now, I could sit back in my chair and complain on Twitter about this, but I'm not about to pay Elon Musk to spread my misery out to the masses. So I got to work until I realized I don't know a whole heck of a lot about coding, and all this looked like a bunch of garbage to me. But I legitimately had a Deus Ex Machina moment. I was just scrolling the mod page and I came across a work in progress. Somebody else had already started working on a national Dex mod for Scarlet and Violet. I love these little goofy dudes. Look at them bounce. So all I had to do was connect the dots from Legends Arceus all the way to Scarlet and Violet, and that should, in theory, allow Pokemon to come into the game. With this newfound knowledge and the goalpost seemingly in sight, I started getting to work. But for some reason, I started working with Dusclops first. Don't ask me. It was very late at night. I just picked a random Pokemon and just started working. And after a few nights and many attempts later, I finally got to fill Dusclops' ghostly lungs with brand new Paldea air. Or at least kinda. As you can see, there was some stuff I still needed to work out in the back end. But just like some cruel twist of fate, this victory was actually very short-lived. And let me explain why. After spending countless hours and many sleepless nights sorting out how to get Dusclops to appear as a natural Pokemon in the game, I realized this is just a single Pokemon that I put in the game, and it took forever. At this rate, how is I going to get over 100 Pokemon from the Hisui region over to Paldea? It just didn't make sense. And the dirt-flavored frosting to this very bitter cake came in the form of Pokemon dropping news about DLC coming soon, which we all kind of expected, but a lot of the Pokemon that I was working on just so happened to be shown off in the DLC. The Pokemon Company might actually beat me to the punch on this, and, you know, that makes sense. They're a billion-dollar company, and I'm just one guy, you know? All that hard work, but they were just gonna do it all along. With all the tools that I had on hand, I was working with the equivalent of a dinghy when I needed Noah's Ark. Introducing Noah's Ark. For those of you that don't know who Luma is, they're a very well-respected modder in the community. I'm sure you've seen some of their work. And I reached out to them not knowing what to expect, but I presented them with the concept and begged them if there's any way that they could help me out with this project. And after a little bit of convincing, we were on. I cannot overstate to you enough how much of a wizard Luma actually is. Something that took me months to figure out. I explained the process to him, and all of a sudden, he wrote up a script in a weekend. Boom, 100 Pokemon in the game. The guy is legitimately insane, but in like a good way. I think I'm insane too, so, you know, insanity attracts insanity. But with the project back on track, we had plenty of time to play around with the brand new Pokemon before the DLC dropped. And yeah, there were some hiccups. Lots of stuff that we did need to sort out. Alakazam! Hello? But hey, they were in the game. Everything that needed to work was working. All their stats were there, their abilities, movesets, the whole daggone shebang. It was like they were meant to be there to begin with. But I ask you, what good is getting all these Pokemon in the game if we didn't put them through a little battle? And at this point, I'd been working on this mod for several months, and a lot of my buds knew that I was working on something I was losing countless hours of sleep over and losing my absolute mind about. So I asked them. But keep in mind, I'd put so much time and dedication into this whole entire thing that I didn't want to immediately tell them what they were getting into. No, I wanted to surprise them and see the look and sparkle in their eyes whenever they saw Pokemon that weren't supposed to be there. You
bitch.
I feel bamboozled.
What do you mean you fibbed?
So I did a couple things to kind of cover up my tracks. I told them that what they're getting into is a stadium mod, so nothing too crazy.
Oh, hey, Epic Stadium.
Oh, where are we? There's just a...
This is crazy. Where are we right now? Is this Connecticut?
And also gave them a very strict rule set of what Pokemon they could bring to the battle. And to their credit, all of them were really good gamers, but none of them were the wiser.
Well, the good thing is I have a really good lead.
Don't worry. The worst thing that's going to happen to you is that you're going to brutally get murdered right now.
I chose the most elite squadron I could find.
Because I just put so many obstacles in place. So obviously, none of those rules actually mattered, but they were gamers. They wanted to make sure that they lived up to the challenge, so they spent all their time, focus, and dedication into making sure that they complied with the rules that... Oh, when did you want to record the fusion battle, by the way?
I'm thinking... I'll pull up my calendar again. I think...
They were none the wiser whenever it was time for the battle.
Are you telling me that in this mod, there's all these Pokemon from Legends Arceus that are now in the game, kind sir?
See, pulling the wool over anybody's eyes is actually fairly easy if you know what you're doing. With any good fib,
I'm lied to.
it's laced with a little bit of truth. Technically speaking, I have been working on a stadium mod for these battles, and if you're new to the channel, you might not have seen it before, but I've actually used it in this video right here. So obviously the stadium mod doesn't matter. I just want to throw them off the scent, and it worked. But then I actually had another issue. See, before I started this whole entire mod, I wasn't even aware that there are 100 Pokemon in Legends Arceus that never even made it to Scarlet and Violet. The only way that I found out is because Caesar couldn't make it into the game. And before you clicked on this video and got this far, which by the way, thank you, did you even realize that there are 100 Pokemon missing out of this game? And if you answered no to that question, I don't even blame you. I wasn't aware of it until I made a whole entire Google document trying to figure out what Pokemon didn't make it into the game, and it was a lot more than I was expecting. So I needed to make sure whatever I brought into battle, my opponent was aware that the Pokemon I was bringing wasn't supposed to be there. Also, while we're waiting for the game to load, have you seen some of the Pokemon that they're bringing in for the DLC? I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah. I saw the leak.
Let the mind games commence. This was legitimately the perfect setup. I'm a very awkward person whenever it comes to having a conversation with, and
Oh, okay. So that's by design. Okay.
bringing topics like this up out of the blue wasn't anything out of the norm for me, so it didn't cause any red flags for them.
Before the recording, like, oh, Togekiss is coming back. I'm so excited. I'm lied to.
And I'll also admit, there was a couple bumps in the road as far as this mod went,
I just we gotta figure out how to get this shit to open. That is so weird.
and it got me a little bit panicked. Though I did somewhat think of this before going into the battle. The reason that the icons are broken is because I wanted to make it so that you couldn't plan your lead around what the other person was bringing.
Okay.
See, not every single Pokemon that we imported into the game had a Scarlet and Violet icon. So if everything goes according to plan, we should have invisible teams to each other.
Oh, so that's why they're invisible.
So to explain that, I just said it was part of the stadium mod. Everyone seemed to be pretty understanding of it, but I just wanted to make sure that I was really playing into the lie. So I made sure to nickname every single one of the Pokemon that I brought in the number for their national dex.
Number 38A? Oh, Alolan.
Which I guess in retrospect was kind of pointless because you can't see their nicknames before the battle, but I want to be sure. I'm better safe than sorry, you know? And at this point, there's only one thing left to do.
Wait, that's so sick. Wait, you put Snorlax in the game.
Okay.
Oh, shit. He's not supposed to be in this game.
The great Tavidi with his little magician tricks. It's you know what? I was actually lying to you. I knew that you were bringing Togekiss, so I brought a perfect counter for it.
You know what? I've never seen that in a battle. That's fucking good.
What if I told you that this mod adds over 100 Pokemon to Scarlet and Violet?
Bro, that's sick. 100.
Stadium or not, I'm still winning this game.
Okay. Wait a second. Regigigas hasn't been in this game?
Wait. I want to see another one.
Die.
You what? No!
Die! Die!
No!
Wait, what are you doing?
The knuckle stack sweep is inevitable.
Now I'm gonna Terrableize because I just want to do as much damage as humanly possible to this thing. Whoa, dude, are you getting the same angles that I'm getting? It like goes to his feet.
Some stuff didn't translate well, and now the game likes to play Nintendo, gets the Pokemon by their feet.
I don't know how. Torterra! His tree looks so good.
My boy!
All right, what are you gonna bring out next? Zerkatry, Agumon, Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton's close.
That's close.
Oh, Infernape! That's so cool. He's so clean. Oh, he's dead.
Do they terrestrialize well?
Would you like to find out?
Yeah, if it breaks the game, it's just funny.
No.
Oh, you're just okay.
Oh, you're terrestrializing. What typing are you going into?
Bro, they look so good.
No! Oh my god! That's so sick!
Now, to be fair, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done to this mod to make it perfect. And I'll be honest, Caesar actually isn't technically in the game yet. The shiny Infernape that you're seeing right here is a whole entire imposter. But that doesn't matter. What this mod proved to me that there is hope. There's possibility that Caesar might be able to make it into the game one day. And that genuinely excites me. I mean, heck, the DLC's just around the corner. The possibilities are endless. What Pokemon could reintroduce back into the game might actually be the Pokemon that I worked on today. And you might hear that and think to yourself, then what was the point of doing all this work? And that's a fair thing to ask. The point of this mod to begin with, let me just state, is not to outplay anybody. I'm not trying to beat Pokemon Company at their own game. This mod makes me genuinely excited for what could possibly happen with the DLC. And to really prove the point, I wasn't trying to outplay anyone. I actually lost all the battles that I had with my friends showing this thing off. No. See, the point of this was to try something new, something that had never been done before, something that seemed impossible at the time, just to prove to myself that I could. And I did. I think the project truly speaks for itself, and it's given me a lot more confidence in future projects and endeavors I might take on, which is something I never thought I'd have. But one thing I beg, Pokemon, if you're watching this right now, please don't kill my